Dude, I think DC's lost the plot.
I'm gonna be real.
So
I'm gonna be
bad.
real. I think DC greenlit that project because they made so much money on Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn in the first.
We actually have an episode where like we actually have to take one of the Suicide Squad member and make an outfit inspired by them. Loki, I hate that episode.
Yeah.
Like despise that
Well, if
episode.
they didn't give you Harley Quinn, it's like, who the hell are these other
like
characters?
one of the good Piker, I didn't even want to do anything women's wears at the point of the show because I'm like, bro, like my mind not in the right place right now.
Right.
Like I can't, like I already hate the Suicide Squad. They tell me not to talk shit about it. I'm not. I can't talk
You're
shit
fine
about it.
now.
Yeah, like, and the NDA is off. So like, so like, it was weird to like, yo, these are original costumes. You gotta make it, and we got a sneak peek of the show before the trailer even come out, and I'm like, yo, this movie gonna be trash.
Yeah. I think that DC has just really been releasing subpar film after subpar
100%.
film after subpar film.
What do you think what went wrong? Like the
I actually have a
acting, the script, or
I have
like
a theory on what went wrong with the DC universe, and I'll try and
Joker was good.
I'll try and condense. Well, Joker was a one-off. I don't even think it was like technically a DC project.
Yeah.
Here's my theory on what went wrong with DC. Have you ever seen the Dark Knight trilogy?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy was this moment in film that, in my mind, changed film as a whole.
Yeah.
Because it took a very like cartoony, abstract comic premise and it made it dark and gritty. And I think, and it made so much money, like infinite money. And I think almost every network executive was like, that's what I want.
Oh, so
that's what I want. And so like you had like G.I. Joe, but it's gritty. And you had like Battleship, the board game, but it's gritty. And I call that the Dark Knight version.
Yeah.
So I think this movie comes out. It's this bellwether movie. Every studio exec is like, give me that, give me that, give me that. And DC is like, we want to build a universe based on this, but Nolan is out.
Yeah.
Nolan is like, I'm fucking done. I'm not doing this. So they're like, we need to make a movie that is like The Dark Knight, but for another character. And they pick Superman, their biggest character, and they make Man of Steel. Man of Steel is Dark Knight Superman. That's why it's called Man of Steel, because they're like, it's got to sound like Dark Knight. It's got to feel like Dark Knight.
But it was trash, wasn't it?
Right. So that gritty realism style with an alien from Krypton who can absorb bullets just doesn't work.
Yeah.
That style only works with characters that are kind of like
humanistic.
Like like they're like
there's some sense of danger that have to happen to him. He invincible. So it's like
it just doesn't work.
So you can't really
So they made Man of Steel, and it was somewhat a success. It was critically panned, but it was somewhat a financial success. And so they're like, let's just build on this. So the entire DC universe is still built on Man of Steel as their first movie, and it's bad. Now, beyond this, when they got started, they were like years behind Marvel, right? Marvel was already going into Avengers, so DC was like, we need Justice League.
But Avengers is like the opposite in the sense that, or I feel like Marvel perfected the system basically. Maybe they rely on too much, where they, instead of like showing gritty realism, they basically had like perfected the scientific method of making like bubblegum movies. Yeah. Where it's like fun.
They took a whole different approach.
Yes.
They're like, oh, you want to be all serious and that?
Yeah.
We can have our seriousness.
Yeah.
Like the end games and stuff like that in the Avenger. Or we can just take
like
it to a Thor.
And they got started first at a time when they were making those individual movies, Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, all that, Thor. People were like, there's going to be an Avengers movie, maybe. And people were like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah.
But DC, when they made Man of Steel, it was like, where's Justice League? Where's Justice League? So before they even introduced Cyborg, Flash, like quintessential Martian Manhunter, quintessential characters, they're like, fuck it, let's do Justice League. So they hadn't established anybody. So they put the cart before the horse. They're all making Dark Knight, and that's where we are now. Where DC, I heard a story once from a filmmaker, and I won't say his name, but the first time I heard about the Black Adam movie, he was like, yeah, they're making Black Adam. And I was like, do they have a script? And they were like, no. And I was like, do they have a director? And they were like, and they were like, no, they don't have a director. And I was like, what do they have? And they're like, well, Dwayne The Rock Johnson signed on. So they greenlit a movie like
with one actor,
no script, no director.
But it's The Rock. It's gonna sell.
Yeah, but so that's how DC is making movies. Is they're like
they're
jumping
trying
out
to
of the
keeping
plane.
up. They're not having their own lane. They're just trying to keep up or whatever.
And I feel like the turning point for DC was when they brought on Joss Whedon for the Justice League, and because of the obvious complications that what's his face had.
Schneider.
Zack Schneider.
Yep.
And obviously, it was terrible. His daughter
nothing really
committed
go
suicide.
right with that.
Yeah, and then he had to drop the project, and then Joss Whedon came in, and Joss Whedon did Marvel's bubblegum Soy Bants, and tried to like pack that in to the gritty, dark skeleton that Zack Snyder had brought forward. And that's why there's this you can literally see it. You can see the Joss Whedon version side by side with the Zack Snyder version. And in my mind, neither version is good.
No.
The Joss Whedon version is worse for sure. But the
other one was too long. Like did
4 hours.
Did you saw how they have the database on it where almost 60% of the people out there didn't finish the movie?
That's
in the first watch.
Bro, I
think it might be more, to be honest.
I didn't finish it.
Crazy.
Bro,
I think it might be more.
Let me tell you something. This is a real fact, okay? The movie would be 23 minutes shorter if they actually sped up the slow-mos.
Yeah.
23 minutes of slow motion? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Come on. I get it. Everyone wants to be an auteur, and everyone is an artiste, and whatever, and they want to jerk themselves up, but it's 4x3. You have to watch.
I really don't like the racial aspect.
Yeah, I hated that.
It threw me off so much. Did you make this for Instagram?
It was so
it's just like an Instagram box.
So the craziest thing you mentioned, though, and then we'll wrap up DC conversation because it's such inside baseball, but you mentioned the Joker, right? I think that DC still makes good one-off projects. I think Doom Patrol was good, Joker was good, and Shazam were good. And none of those
Black Adam could be good too then.
Well, none of those films are like the universe. Shazam is a kid's movie. The Joker is literally a Martin Scorsese film just thrown into the universe that doesn't connect with anything. And Doom Patrol is they're oh, let's show basically that we had the IP to X-Men before X-Men existed and make it R-rated.
I've never seen Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol was X-Men before X-Men.
Interesting. I'm saying it, dude.
I've been drinking pre-workout already. I'm ready to run through a brick wall, baby.